Being yourself should be the simplest, easiest default setting ever. So, why is it so hard sometimes? Welcome back to the 50/50 Project, where every week I talk through an item on a list made up of one thing I've learned for each year I've lived. This week is the second installment in the soul category, and this item could probably fit in several of the categories, but I'm sticking it in here because for me, some of the most important work in this realm of life has started with better understanding myself and my relationship to the world around me, not to mention whatever is beyond it. So here we go with thing number 15. Be you. Little tiny sentence, great big concept. And I'm going to cheat just a little bit and focus really tightly on one small application of this much bigger principle today. And then you can draw larger conclusions about it if you want to. So I want to talk about this today because this happens to be my summer vacation week. And that's a time when, in the past, other people's expectations could sometimes creep in and push me to plan a vacation I simply did not enjoy. Or at the least, it could cause me to waste little snippets of a vacation I was enjoying, thinking that maybe I shouldn't be. So at my company, we get the standard individual PTO, but we also take a couple weeks out of the year where we shut down the whole company completely so that everyone is off at once and we're all just completely unplugged. And so this week, not only am I on vacation, but every single one of my coworkers is on vacation too. When I was younger, I think this situation would have made it really easy for me to start anxiously comparing my own vacation plans with those of the people around me. Was everybody else really going to Hawaii or the Gulf Coast? Am I the only one in the group who really just wants to stay home and rewatch The West Wing? Is there something wrong with me because I don't particularly want to get on a plane and go anywhere? And even if your place of work doesn't do this kind of group vacation, I think this is still potentially a thing for a lot of us because of social media. I mean, it's high summer right now, and my feeds at least are full of people beaching and hiking and touring Europe and climbing mountains. And these folks are having a really great time and making some fantastic memories for themselves. I don't doubt that for a second. But an earlier version of myself, one that was a little less committed to just being myself, might have felt a little pained about it all, a little jealous, maybe feeling a little FOMO while looking at the beautiful pictures that are posted every day this time of year. Or at least, I probably would have wondered if I should be wanting to do something similar. And when you start getting into the shoulds and you start thinking more about what everybody else is doing than about what you really want to do, things can get pretty frustrating pretty fast. For many years of my life, I was woefully over attuned to what I was supposed to like. And I would sometimes force myself to do things I didn't really enjoy doing, including travel. I know most people love travel, but it isn't my jam. In fact, I probably would go so far as to say that I hate traveling and I don't want to do it at all, much less for fun in my leisure time. I know that that's not the popular thing to say, that that's the kind of statement that raises eyebrows, but it's really truly how I feel. I realize that for the vast majority of people, travel is the kind of activity that replenishes and energizes them. But it just doesn't work like that for me. And that's okay too. You know what? It's actually fine not to want to travel on vacation. It's fine to prefer to do something else that's more restorative and life giving for me. I know this now. I'm comfortable with it. And I have very few qualms these days about planning exactly the kind of break that really works for me. I actually think the term staycation has helped me get clearer with myself and others about what I'm going for. When I can confidently be me, I'm happier for my jet setting friends and I'm happier for my slow rolling self. And I don't feel the need to defend my own plans or really the petty urge to devalue theirs. And that's the sweet spot of just being you, without defensiveness or jealousy, and without wishing you were something other than what you are. Now, just a brief side note from Gretchen Rubin, who I think I've mentioned before as a writer and a researcher on habit formation. She talks a lot about the importance of both being yourself and expecting more of yourself. And I think that's a caveat worth mentioning because I don't want the idea of being myself to become this 360-degree excuse for never doing anything that's challenging or scary or hard. That's not what I'm going for. And I could maybe see that being a slippery slope for me. So, yes, I still need to have high expectations for myself, as long as they lead me to become more confidently, masterfully who I was born to be. And as long as they don't lead me down a road that's paved by other people's tastes or values or expectations. And before I wrap up, I just want to pull in one more voice of wisdom. Mary Oliver wrote what is, for my money anyway, maybe the best contemporary poem ever, a piece called Wild Geese, which begins with her kind of letting us all off the hook in a really beautiful way. She writes, "You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves." I should say that when she writes, "You do not have to be good," she's not suggesting that you can be bad to yourself or the world around you or the people in it. She's not advocating murder and mayhem here. But she is saying you don't have to perform a role that isn't you just to court the approval and the love of others. You don't have to be good, in air quotes. You do not have to be tragically hip or a certain kind of cool or a reflection of empty social niceties. I don't think you have to love travel, or for that matter, cottagecore fashion, whatever that is, or any particular genre of music, or the same podcasts that have all your friends riveted. In so many matters of taste or preference, you just have to be yourself. Go where you want. Love what you love. And in my experience, the more fully that I am being myself, the more fully I'm inhabiting my own preferences or callings or niches, the more at peace I really am, not only with myself, but also with others. Now, I'm not embarrassed to acknowledge that the highlight of this vacation will probably be a trip to Costco. But I'm also not embittered that one of my coworkers is going sailing across the open ocean, because they're doing them and I'm doing me. And I just want all of us to have a good time and come home safe. So be yourself on vacation and off, without apology, but also without any defensiveness. Be yourself as often and as fully as you can. Okay, quick execution score. I'll say 7 out of 10. I'm pretty good at owning my personal preferences and my homebody status, but I could probably do better at not always wrapping it in so much self deprecating humor. I should probably do a better job of not making it a punchline every time. All right, I think that's enough for this week. I hope whatever you have planned for this high summer stretch, it's exactly what you want to be doing. Thanks for spending some time with me today, and I'll be back next week with thing number 16.